So today in this class we see about major minerals. So the different aspects like classification, nutritional and functional role, bioavailability, estimation of minerals and effect of processing on mineral content of foods. These are the aspects we covered in this class. So, universally, mineral is defined as the important element which is present in food other than carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And they are present mainly in low concentration in food, but they have many important functions in our body as well as in food system. And when we classify the minerals, they are broadly classified into major minerals and trace elements. Depends on the concentration of minerals in plants and animals. Some examples for major minerals are calcium, potassium, phosphorus, chlorine, sodium and magnesium. Whereas some other elements they are present only in small amount in different foods like iron, zinc, copper, manganese, iodine, etc. etc. And they are known as trace elements. So, according to their biological role, again, they are classified into two important types like essential elements and non essential elements and toxic elements. That means some elements like sodium, potassium, phosphorus, etc., they are very, very important for our human system because they have major role in our system. Example, the acid base balance, then electrolyte balance, water balance, all are maintained by these elements and they are known as essential nutrients. Whereas some other nutrients like boron and aluminium, they are essential but not much and they are called non-nutritive element. And some elements like mercury, lead and cadmium, even though they are present in small quantity, they produce toxic effect and it is known as toxic element. Then you already studied the important role of all the nutrients like minerals in our body system, but now we see some of the functions in different foods. For example, they act as an electrolyte, enzyme constituents, and they are essential for the building material in bone and teeth. So these are some of the physiological role. But there are some food role also, like they act as a food flavor and they inhibit enzyme catalyzed and other reactions. And in some foods, the minerals also affect the texture and some of them, even though they present in lower concentration, they affect the physical and chemical properties of the food. For example, the foam formation, emulsifying properties, texturizing characters, denaturation characters, etc. etc. So, it is well known that the concentration of the nutrient is not an indicator for the importance of the nutrient. Even though they are present in small amounts, they have various metabolic processes. So, in case of mineral nutrients, the bioavailability is determined mainly by the absorption of nutrients in the intestinal lumen into the blood. Because, for example, if 10 milligram is present in the food, only 2 milligram is absorbed in the small intestine and taken to the blood. So, the bioavailability means how much nutrients are absorbed in the body, and some amount they are excreted through urine as well as through the feces. So this quantity is taken as the bioavailability of the minerals. Vary and they may So when we see about the bioavailability of nutrients, only those amount of nutrient absorbed in the intestinal tract into the blood is known as bioavailability, because all the nutrients present in the food, they are not digested and absorbed in our body. Only certain amount of nutrients are digested and absorbed. So in case it depend upon different factors like the complexity of the nutrients, whether they are present in a simpler form or they are in a complex form, or the content, whether for example in case of iron, it is in ferric form or ferrous form. It also determine the bioavailability of the nutrients, because the vegetables contain only ferric iron and the animal food contain ferrous iron. Our body absorbs ferrous iron more compared to that of the ferric iron. Therefore, the enhancing and inhibiting factors, they are operate in our body and they will determine the bioavailability of the minerals. The next we see about the estimation of minerals. Mainly, the minerals are estimated by using ashing process or incineration of the food in a high temperature in a muffle furnace. And during this process, they are converted into ash, and from the ash, we will find out the mineral content. And after that, we will use the calorimetric method, spectrophotometer method, and now a new method, that is nuclear activation analysis method, is useful. It is very sensitive method and we can able to find out even very minute quantity of the minerals present in the food. Then finally, we see about the effect of processing on mineral content of the food. So under processing, heat, light, oxidizing agent, and extreme pH, that is acidity or alkalinity, which will affect the mineral content of the food. And some minerals, they can be removed by leaching, that is during boiling process. Some of them are leached out, or by physical separation methods. Mainly in case of milling of cereals and pulses, the outer bran or husk, which contain more amount of minerals, and during milling the outer layers are removed by dehusking process, and finally we get only limited quantity of minerals in the food. For example, the refined flour, that is maida, it contains the loss of minerals, that is iron is lost to 76%, then zinc 78%, and copper also in a higher range, and selenium only in a lower amount, that is 16%. Then during cooking in our home also, cooking in excess amount of water, which will result in losses of minerals, and some minerals, they have more solubility in the water. So if we take more amount of water, the losses is very severe. So the steaming is better compared to that of boiling method. Then the methods used for cooking, then the cutting of vegetable is also play an important role in the loss of the nutrients. Whereas in case of canned foods, the minerals, they are taken from the container like tin or iron into the food, so their quantity is increased in canned acid foods as fruit juices, canned foods which containing sulfur containing amino acids. So far we see about the classification of minerals, then some of the biological functions, then some functions in food industry, then bioavailability of minerals, then determination of minerals, and finally the loss of minerals during processing. So I think all of you understand the class. Any queries? Okay, girls. Thank you.